Hey there everybody, it's Mecha Draco coming to you with another video of Dungeons 2. And so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing over the second and third mission that I actually kind of accidentally recorded without sound. As you guys may have saw from the very first episode, I did actually mention that I recorded and played the first several missions.
Although Krotos managed once the ultimate evil
here
had escaped from the
Hey there everybody, it's Mecha Draco coming to you with another video, and in today's video we're going to play in Dungeons 2 again. Alright, so in the last video I do want to let you guys know that I did say that I recorded the first 3 episodes of this game, and I ended up having the sound not recorded properly, unfortunately. So what I'm going to end up doing in this situation then is I'm going to instead go ahead and replace my recordings. I figured that I was going to just go ahead and do the first 2 by itself, but then I thought to myself that that's wrong. I shouldn't do that. Let's go ahead and just do re-recordings for this, because that's just lazy YouTubing, if you ask me. So I went on ahead. I'm going to go ahead and re-record these. Now you will see in the campaign here that I have several of the missions already done. So I'm going to go on ahead and just click on the ones that we're going to be doing next, and then we'll be going on from there. So bear with me for the next 2 episodes or so. So I hope you certainly enjoy it, but let's go ahead and get right into it.
Although once the ultimate evil had escaped from the depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this, heavily supported by its little snots. The first target was Paladin Robert, now King of the Alliance. He had withdrawn to the quiet surroundings of his hunting lodge. There, he would be the perfect victim.
Alright, so the main reason why I did fully wanted to have there be sound is because I love the narrator in this. I actually go quiet whenever the narrator is talking, mostly because of the fact that I want to hear what he has to say. And he is also extremely funny. Like, I mean, legitimately, he's probably one of the funniest people I've ever played against or played with, in fact, because he makes this game so much better than the original one, because the original one had the Goblin to be in the narrator, but this time around, this narrator's perfect, honestly. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Now we're killing King Robert, is what he's wanting us to do, and we're going to get goblins in this particular episode, meaning that we should be able to assassinate people. That's the main thing that you can do with goblins, is they have assassin abilities. I also want you guys to actually hear like the battle sounds and everything like that, and I really felt bad about missing that first one.
According to scouts, King Robert spent most of his time strolling around his hunting lodge garden reciting poetry. Soon his poetry would turn into mournful ballads. The vengeful evil thirsted to defeat the Alliance's king and mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Whoops, of course, I really mean that he wanted to take all of King Robert's cookies away. Better play it safe, or the age classification folks will be after me. Before that, however, the ultimate evil had to do a bit of work on the dungeon.
Now,
otherwise, he wouldn't be able to fund even a small army made up of a few orcs.
It also basically showed us how to play each mode, but this is sort of the combination of both of them. So what we need first is a treasury, which we don't have any place in particular where we can put a treasury yet. However, I believe there is a thing over here. Yes, there is a thing over here. We're looking for one of these basically every once in a while, because this right here is going to be our main way of getting gold. And we don't want to go too crazy right away on the gold.
The first treasury was completed. Soon greedy evil's little snots would fill it with gold. You know the golden rule, right? Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
Hurry up. Don't salute me. Hurry it up. Let's also get some more snots. We can go ahead and afford one or 2 of those. And snots don't cost any upkeep either, so we don't have to worry about actually paying payday or anything like that. So I don't think so. If we do, then I am far as I'm aware of, they don't. And we usually get about 5 in the slots, and then we usually leave it at that.
Right now, the restricted evil was only able to call upon orcs and little snots. But there had been rumors that some goblins were hiding out in a cave somewhere close by. The exploratory evil would be sure to follow this line of inquiry.
I like the narrator and how he guides you a lot as well. Yeah, let's just go with 3, because you never know. And then we'll go with 3. 3 in here. There's 3 there. I want to get all that gold. As much gold as possible. You like your gold. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more gold as we go along because I need to be able to hire 3 of these, and they are kind of expensive. I'm gonna probably hire about 5 of them though, because we get goblins in this, but we don't really need them too much.
The strategy guidebook, Dungeons for Dummies, says, mountains don't always just consist of rocks and stone, but may also include natural as well as artificial caves and rooms. These usually contain treasures and dangers to make digging around underground more exciting.
I think if there is actually one over here somewhere, there's a secret room that leads over to like a spider den of some kind. But okay, we have enough now.
The warmongering evil had hired the first orc. As ancient wisdom says, violence is a solution, usually the only one.
Usually the only one. I love it. Oh, and look, there's another one of these. Oh, wow, there's just a whole bunch of them. That's good. That'll be a good game.
Another orc entered the service of the military-savvy evil. The horde was growing and prospering.
I'm gonna try to get to 5 orcs. Oh, and the great thing about orcs and stuff like that on your other monsters is they actually boost your walls. And I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the first one, because I did not say that.
The ultimate evil
100%,
should never forget to keep a watchful
really cool.
eye on its beer and gold stores.
Oh, you're
The
correct.
time to attack appeared to be right. On the surface, in the tavern of a small, miserable village, some adventurers gathered. They were acquiring Dutch courage for their visit to the dungeon by downing several beers. The dungeon had to be destroyed. The steady pounding in the rocks had given rise to overworld rumors of a new dungeon. A group of heroes set out to plunder its riches, and the ultimate evil was already looking forward to this visit.
Ooh, wicked laughter. I'm gonna try to get, like I said, 5 orcs, because 5 orcs would be better than 3. Plus I can leave 2 of them behind while I send the other 3 out. Plus that'll also even out my population limit total.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
And where is my friendly? Let's go greet our guests. Where are they at? Oh, there.
The ultimate evil slowly made itself cozy underground. Although this was a sensible decision, there was a large and lovely overworld out there, just waiting to meet. The heroes didn't know what had hit them, as several orcs poured down from nowhere and annihilated them. This group of heroes had plundered their last dungeon, but there would be more.
I gotta decide I wanted to put one over here because if you can see, there's lots of gold over there. I think there's actually another one here. Like a gold deposit. Got that, and I'm not going to worry too much about those, or those. I'm actually going to undo that one, and just leave it for these 3 to be they're done mining that out, we should be good for a little while. And then they should just continue mining that. We should be able to make a continuous source of money. Okay, now orcs, because why not? Might as well get it out there now while we're at it. Okay, and this is range of view. Okay, so let's get that. Boom. I'm pretty sure that is the king saying that. I think these are the heroes that popped out right here. Micromanage. Get them out. Slow fighting, but not too bad. Ooh, rats. We'll get 2 more since we can. We'll have them stay inside the thing. And how are you guys doing? All right, you're good. You're good. Take out the last guy. Hurry it up. He's like no damage to him. I'm not gonna lie, that guy's poetry is a little off. Roses are red.
A delicious rumble announced the fact that the village's last house had crashed to the ground. Ha! There would be no more heroes meeting there to seek out the dungeon of the destruction-hungry evil. The hunting lodge of King Robert lay in the north. It was there that the ultimate evil would finally get its long-awaited revenge. However, it looked pretty damn well guarded. Maybe it should first visit the cave to the west, inhabited by a clan of goblins, where the cunning evil could do a little negotiating.
Or just take what we want. I mean, either way. Okay.
The goblin leader prostrated himself joyfully before the ultimate evil, and immediately dispatched 2 goblins into its dungeon with a few plans for a new room, a tinkerer's cave.
Right.
This was built as quickly as possible. The Tinkerer's Cave was built. It could, however, only be used as a warehouse, as it lacked the workshop that the insidious evil's goblins needed. Quick as a flash, Evil placed a creator mat in the Tinkerer's Cave. A sparkling new creator mat graced the Tinkerer's Cave of the expansion-hungry evil. A goblin would be able to work well in here, producing toolboxes. A few of these boxes would now be needed in order to invent a trap. The moody evil waited patiently.
The moody evil waited patiently. There we go. Full health. Now let's go ahead and get them out of here again, because there's no real reason to keep them in here, and they are going to be wandering up to the north. And you guys cleared that out, so that's good. You 5 are just working on that. So let's go ahead and enlarge this. That way we have a bigger brewery. That way we can store more casks. Weird. Okay, but whatever. Are you done? Are you clear for research now? Yeah. Research this. Nope. Just a faster healing. Sugar pills to your monsters and thereby get wounds to heal fast.
It's payday.
Is it? up here. Ooh, missed one of them. We'll move them up here because they want to go into a fight with these guys, but we're not going to let them go right away.
The fortress could already be made out in the distance. The walls were lined with crossbowmen. A head-on assault would undoubtedly prove so. As cowardly as the goblins were, their creativity more than made up for this. They proudly presented the treacherous evil with their plan for a devious trap. With a silent, evil cackle, it quickly buckled down to setting the trap.
Evil cackle. We'll go over here and get this little goblin because he'll actually join our team. Can't unfortunately cross.
The horde came across a stray goblin by the roadside, who apparently constituted the sad remains of one of the hunting lodge's attack units. This miserable being joined the army of the powerful evil with a grateful whimper.
The thing interesting about the goblins is that they actually will not be attacked as long as there's other targets around. And they do actually a really decent amount of damage because they attack really quickly. And they're a threat, definitely a threat. And then when they level up and stuff like that, I think they level up anyway. They become like assassins or native assassins or something like that. Not really 100% on that one, but it's really cool that they actually can do that. And you'll get an assassin in this particular one. Place a trap. I did place a trap. Are you actually place it good? And then once that's done, it'll show it off a little bit. Hurry it up, man.
Job done. The trap was finished and ready to be found by a hero. This is going to be so much fun. Just at that moment, a particularly powerful dwarf warrior appeared in the dungeon. How had he suddenly arrived at this precise time was indeed most odd, but his presence was more than welcome. He was going to be a guinea pig for the trap. Even this strong dwarf warrior didn't stand a chance against the treacherous traps and powerful monsters of the invincible evil. He bit the dust. So much for a game of rules. The dungeon's defenses were now clearly much improved, but the hunting lodge still remained well protected and impregnable. There was nothing that the ultimate evil could do. The task was impossible. So the evil withdrew, bent and broken, let feelings of revenge ebb away, and instead took up looking after those cute, teeny-weeny trees. What are they called again?
Bonsais?
Bonsai, yes, that's it. The end. Pretty unsatisfactory, huh? Of course, that wasn't the end. In reality, the indefatigable evil paid the Goblin Cave another little visit. The Goblin leader would hopefully spit out something useful after a few more slaps.
After a few more slaps.
A few hard slaps were enough to motivate the leader of the goblins to help the ultimate evil. As it transpired, there was an old tunnel which had been previously used as an escape route. This connected the Goblin Cave with the vaults of the hunting lodge. The goblin leader voluntarily made a goblin assassin available to the hard-hitting evil to help infiltrate the lodge.
Aha, there we go. And here's the assassin. The assassin's actually
The
one of
cheerful
the
evil
coolest
was
characters.
pleased with this support. An assassin was a decent melee fighter, but its actual strength lay in its ability to make itself invisible. This was, of course, tested out immediately. Despite the powerful invisibility skill, it was advisable for the ultimate evil to be cautious. Some opponents had such highly trained observation skills that they were actually able to see invisible units. A locked door prevented the assassin from progressing. It would have taken a long, Long, long time for him to have opened it with sheer brute force using weaponry. Thankfully, he had a suitable skill with which he could deactivate doors, and more importantly, traps. The on-the-ball evil recognized that the warrior princess there was extremely powerful. The goblin assassin would be best advised to avoid any contact with her.
Warrior princess. Which is this girl right here. Just keep running, just keep running, running, running.
A Gobobot was being forced to make miserable repairs in the lodge. A brief feeling of what it thought might be sympathy passed through the sensitive evil, but this actually turned out to be a mighty belch. Naturally, it would free the useful Gobobot anyway.
We'll get over here and kill this guy. Sneak attack. I unfortunately cannot help him, but it's alright. He can kill these guys with no problem. I need that to take damage.
Elated by the assassin's attempt at rescuing it, the Gobobot joined the horde and succeeded in showing its tormentors a real hot time. Its ability to more or less ignore ranged damage and set fire to large areas would come in very handy.
And these guys should be able to kill pretty much everything with no problems.
Defend the throne room.
Where they came from. Hey, they're dead. We're good. Uh-oh. No! Seeker was lost. Not Seeker. Oh, well. I don't get the other one.
The hunting lodge was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
The vengeful evil gave itself a very self-satisfied pat on the back. The time was right to concentrate on King Robert. He was in his renowned garden reciting his much less renowned love poems. The lyrically challenged evil had no time for poetry and would soon make this tangibly clear to him. The king was accompanied by a pixie who was able to cast powerful healing magic. Any direct attack would be suicidal. Mercifully, the omniscient and helpful narrator was at hand. He pointed out to the impatient evil that the pixie went off from time to time in order to check that all was well, and much more importantly, eat her supper in a little camp to the south. The pixie buzzed over to eat her meal. The ultimate evil prepared an ambush.
Roses are red, headstock.
The annoying little pixie had spoken her last healing spell. The crafty-minded evil sculpted a fan from her wings. Now it was time to look for King Robert and ensure his early demise.
Let's see if these two goblins can do it. What we can do with these two goblins, I think. Sneak attack. We got this. I believe it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom.
King Robert fell, and the ultimate evil had received its well-deserved revenge. but there were still many more heroes out there who deserved to bite the dust. Their time would come.
It looks like King Robert's thing. So, that was the second episode, guys. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you know the drill by now. And, of course, as always, guys, good luck out there. And don't forget to have fun.